Welcome to Nintendo Dads episode 552, recorded today, November 6, 2025. And on tonight's episodes, this week's episode, we're going to talk about the new Metroid Prime 4 trailer. How hyped are you? Nintendo reports some success with the Nintendo Switch 2. Not a big shocker. And they've put out another app. Why? I'm not 100% sure, but we'll talk about that and so much more. Jesse, cue the music.
What's up, everybody? No, you are not delirious, delusional, or otherwise under the influence of anything. That voice that you heard is indeed the sultry, velvety tones from the north of Mr. Justin Masson. Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's I think we were talking about it before in pre-show. 4 to 6 weeks now, I think. It's been.
Yeah.
So
probably
yeah,
the longest hiatus that you've had, right?
Pretty close. I think there was a bit where I did about a 2-month stint, my sabbatical, I think maybe, where but yeah, it's been a long time, but I'm happy to be back. Excited to talk about all the things I've been playing, because it's been a lot. Stuff that you'd expect, things that you might not expect, and to break down some of these amazing Nintendo news. But of course, they have a great financial report. They have some great earnings calls. So Business Justin had to show up, as if you ask Beetlejuice 3 times shows up, then I am absolutely here. So excited to see all your lovely faces. Also, on the eve of our 2025 Extra Life campaign. Man, it's great to be here. Excited as well.
Big stuff going on. I mean, 2 of us playing this weekend for Extra Life. Tim and Jesse are later on in the month. But also, don't want this to pass without throwing this out, guys. It's our anniversary. Did you realize that? We're another year old. It's this week.
That's incredible. 11 years.
11 years of Nintendo Dads.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. What a journey.
Wow. Yeah, we're Owen Wilson all of a sudden. Yeah. So it's it. And you can direct all gifts to I'll give you my address. Just message me. All right. I'll make sure that the other guys get them. But speaking of other guys, Jesse, Tim, how you doing this week, man?
Been pretty good. Been playing more Switch games than normal, which means I have been going out less. So kind of going more into that hermit mode that I've been trying to not do. But that's what happens when you got Pokemon in Dragon Quest.
Yes. Yep. It's been a busy week as usual here for work and home. Lots of things going on for helping my mom too, as I've mentioned before. I think on these channels she's got Alzheimer's, so lots of stuff there, trying to help her out with dealing with that and moving on with life. So
yep. That there is no I've learned over the last couple of years, there's no manual for dealing with aging parents.
There is not.
Nope.
It's just you pick it up as you go, right?
Yes.
You learn it as you go. Well, guys, we have actually a ton to talk about tonight. And so I don't want to take away from any of our news or other things that we want to get to by sitting around here navel gazing at ourselves. And so, Jesse, why don't you hit that big, beautiful news button for us, please? Our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and Twitch. And we want to say a huge thanks to all of our friends of the show over on patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and everyone who throws a Twitch subscription our way via Amazon Prime or whatever else you use. It helps us create more great Nintendo content, and it allows us to do things like this podcast. It allows us to do things like going to places and showing up for you And it also allows us to be able to do things like purchase equipment and make sure we have games to play and stuff like that. So it's really like it blows me away every time I log into Patreon and I'm like, people do this. But if you're one of those people over there at Twitch, Patreon, or if you're on any of our social media, you're sharing our content, you're interacting with us there. We are so thankful for you. I want to shout out our newest Patreon friend of the show, and that's the NintenDaddy, who is new over there. He got access to the Discord this week, and you can too by going over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. $1 gets you in the Discord, $5 gets you all the sub channels, $10 gets you pre and post show audio, and $30 a month gets you on the show as a Patreon producer and in our hearts forever. And so you can even go in and do a yearly option if you would like to do that, and we give you a month free. And the best part is all Patreon friends of the show and Twitch Prime subscribers or Twitch subscribers get an ad-free feed of the show. And if you are one of those people and you have not figured out how to do that yet, hit Tim up. He'll tell you how to do it. Is that okay, Tim?
Yeah.
Tim will get you locked in. It'll be
Neil
great.
Prime 33 on Discord. Just
there you go.
DM me and I'll get you in.
It'll be fantastic.
We'll make sure your apps are talking to each other correctly.
Yeah. Basically, you just got to be in the Discord.
Yes.
So there you go. So let's hit some news while you head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads if you haven't already done so. We would love to have you buy in and be a friend of the show. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond got a brand new trailer this week and showing off a little bit more. I still don't understand the marketing for this game. But the trailer looked great. We did see some new areas. I think we saw like a flame or lava area that looks really scary. We also saw the spiky tower from before. We saw Samus riding down the tunnel on the Viola bike and the skylights coming back. Did you notice, by the way, in that clip, there are other Violas above you when that's happening? They're not colored, like they're being built or they're being activated later or something like that. That was a little interesting thing.
I missed that.
Of course, we also see at the end they end every trailer with Silix, thus emphasizing that he is a big bad guy. Although I think that I've come to think that one of the reasons they're not showing a lot in this trailer is that there's so much going on that they don't want to spoil any of it. They're like, I'm feeling like there's some kind of big reveal at the very beginning, like toward the beginning of the game, and they don't want to give that up yet. There are some people also who claim that in that trailer there's another hunter who was in the Tim, help me out here. What was the game with
Metroid
Hunter?
Prime Hunters?
Yeah, Metroid Prime Hunters. There was a hunter in there named Candon who could turn into like this slug thing. Like he'd go in a little slug ship, and it's like they say, oh yeah, he's in that trailer too, but you got to catch him. You got to look just real quick. I don't know who Candon is, but I know that trailer got me hype, and I started playing Metroid Prime Remastered again.
Nice.
So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But what did you guys think about the trailer? Tim, we'll start with you.
Well, you know that meme, I don't know what it's from, but it's the meme where I can't remember the actor's name, but he's gone screaming with his hands waving and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Excited.
Yeah.
That's me. That was me.
Kermit also represented.
No, not Kermit with the crazy hands.
I was just saying the Kermit flail. That would also be you. Jonah? Is that his name? Jonah?
Yeah, it was Jonah. Yeah.
I can never think of I have a really bad memory for actors' names because I just
Jonah Hill, yeah. Yep,
Jonah
everybody
Hill.
got us in the chat.
Don't like
Jonah Hill.
My wife all the time will be like, "Oh yeah, you know that guy? He's in that show you really like." And I'm like,
I'm good with faces and stuff.
I recognize voices. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'll ask her. Is that?
But yeah, I was super excited to get that, and
okay.
I'm also excited. I'm also excited for the game. So I really don't need anything else to get the game. So I'm already getting it.
Sure.
But anything I get out of it, as long as it's not too spoilery, then I'm good.
So I think that brings up a good point. Is what they're showing enough for people who aren't Tim to want to get this game.
This video certainly brought out a lot of people complaining about the desert scene too.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is such an interesting challenge because I don't know of another game that has baked for as long as it has that I think is creating, I think, really false expectations. Right? We've known about Metroid Prime 4 for 8 years since the initial reveal in 2017 at E3. This game, I think so, like this game has sort of like it's created its own sort of ethos and myth around it, right? So like just like even if we put in contextualization, we've been around for 11 years. This game has been in the ethos of that for 8 of them. Right?
Right.
Like
Right.
75% of it essentially.
Yeah.
And so I think that this game has a I don't know if it'll be able to live up to the hype and the expectation people want it to be. I think that this Nintendo is finally now shifting gears into really starting to campaign for this game, right? It's been some sort of subtle content that's been sent out. There's been some, trailers. Apparently, right now, actually, there is a big Metroid Prime 4 media event that's occurring for Select Media. Game Informer put on their page that they were going. IGN's going. Our invite must have got lost in the mail.
I think it did.
I don't know what happened there. That's going to give us, I think, a little bit more insight in a preview into it as well. But
and there's the embargo for previews is up next week. It's on the 14th.
Yes.
So after that, they can start talking about what they saw.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting point. Like if you're letting an embargo for a game be nearly 3 weeks prior to it, you're confident in what you've got. Right? The amount of times that we've been embargoed of like you can talk about it after the game is released. Right? Like you're like,
yeah,
that's not great.
Good point is that Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment was embargoed until today. Yeah. There were people who didn't even have like review scores up, and well, it was actually a couple days ago, but it was very, very close to release.
Yeah. I mean, I would say for this group, and I think it was interesting that I think one of the challenges that you face in a Metroid game is, I think especially Metroid Prime game, as opposed to like a Dread, the idea is isolation, right? The idea is sort of the lone soldier, the FPS. That's really hard to, I think, like the mood of it. I think that's hard to capture in a trailer. I think that's hard to capture in a first-person kind of perspective. I think it gave me, like, I'm interested to see where we're going. I would say the desert scenes, like on the bike, does not look great. That's a little bit like, that feels a bit like.
But I wonder if those are just transitional things. Like, it's not meant to be there for very long.
It could.
And again, are they keeping things from us?
But we have seen. Yeah, here's the thing: is I believe there's so much to uncover here, right? But like we have seen Samus on a bike fighting in the desert. Excuse me, and it didn't look great. Everything else I think looks great in the game, but that does not look great.
And there's this online commentary. It's like, oh, there's more clips of Samus shooting bugs, and I'm like, have you played Metroid Prime? Because I've played through, I mean, it's fresh because I played through like the first hour and 15 minutes. And literally the first hour and 15 minutes is shooting bugs. I mean, it like, I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's those are the enemies, right? If you go play any Metroid game, a lot of the enemies look like bugs. Yep. And so what do you want it to be? Because here's the thing. I went back and just looked this up. Metroid Prime 3 came out in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
That was the initial release date. So think about that. It's been almost how long since a brand new entry in the series?
Just shy of 20.
Just shy of 20 years. So what I'm saying is, with my question I was asking you is, are 1 minute and 20 second trailers enough for a new generation of people who maybe have not played a Metroid Prime game at all. Like they've gotten Remastered, which was like what, 2 years ago, right? It came out in 23.
Yep.
Which is fine, but I just like I'm the marketing of this and Age of Imprisonment just baffles me. Like because on one hand, Metroid is not. I hate to say this is not a pillar of like like Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing and Mario are now, and even Zelda. But
Yeah,
then today a
even the
Zelda
best
game.
game sold what, 3 million?
Yeah, today a Zelda game came out that's set in the best-selling setting that has ever been for Zelda. Right? More people talked about it than anything in this Breath of the Wild world. And yes, there's probably some version fatigue. I don't know, but there was absolutely zero marketing push for this game. It showed up in 2 directs for less than 5 minutes each, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's coming out in 2 weeks after Pokemon. Have fun. So and like if it's gonna be this, I don't know. I mean, I'm playing it. I'll talk about it later, but like it's like the whole marketing around it, even like when I went and looked it up today, was like explore the world of ancient Hyrule and find out the secrets of the Zonai and stuff like that. If that's gonna be like a big thing moving forward, or if this is gonna be canon or whatever, why bury it behind 2 weeks behind Pokemon and not even talk about it? And then why bury the game that's been brewing for 8 years 3 weeks later, the first week of December? It's almost kind of like, and I'm not going to throw this out here. Nintendo had to make some layoffs. You remember that back a couple of months ago? It's almost like the marketing team got laid off. Like there's not like they kind of looked around and it's like, oh crap, nobody's been working on Metroid. Nobody's been working on promotion for Hyrule Warriors.
I'll help with that. I'll go over there and help.
I know. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of people who would, but it's bizarre. Now, I will say that the trailer that got released this week is already like, it's had a very positive reaction on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's been seen by more people. And so people are noticing this game. I just personally, as a Metroid fan, I wish it was doing more numbers, right? Because
for sure,
this generation, if you want to call it this generation, Switch 2, now has had 3 incredible Metroid games, or I hope, 2 incredible Metroid games, hopefully a third one with Prime and Dread. And now hopefully 4 is going to be great too. I just don't, it's just odd. I don't know. I don't get it, but I'm sure there's a reason. As as we remind people all the time, Nintendo going to Nintendo, right? They're going to do what they want. And speaking of that, let's talk about their numbers that were released this week, because we got a first peek at how well Switch 2 is doing. And holy cow, it's doing really good. It's doing really good. So just throw some stats out here. Nintendo Switch 2 sold 4.53 million units between July 1st and September 30th worldwide. That brings the total of Switch 2s sold to 10.36 million units. Also, Nintendo Switch sold nearly 1 million units between July 1st and September 30th, selling 910,000 units worldwide, and that brings their total now to 154.01 million units sold. There are only 2 systems in existence that have sold more than them. DS hanging on at 10,000 more, which that's going to go down. They're going to beat that.
Yeah.
And then PlayStation 2 at 160 million, and I'm sure they'll dig up more, numbers somewhere. Oh yeah, we forgot about this crate of PS2s we sold and they sunk in the ocean, but they were already sold. Hardware projections for 2026 or fiscal year 2026, Nintendo has lowered their hardware projections from 4.5 million units to 4.0 million units. So just 4. Software predictions increase, though, from 105 million units to 125 million units for the physical year. And Nintendo Switch 2 increased from 19, I'm guessing this is 19 million units to 15 million units.
Yeah, I forgot the MM there, but yeah.
Did you mean to say decreased from 19 million to 15
No,
million?
no, it's
it was
increased
15.
19
It's
million
now
from
19.
15.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read that totally wrong.
They're increasing their actual projections.
Yeah. Okay. Software projections for Switch 2 also increased from 45 million to 48 million for the physical year. Let's just stop
it wasn't
right there.
consistent with the two in the from between the
I got you. It's okay.
the
No problem.
statements.
Let's just stop right here. I want to couple those numbers with the stat that Nintendo threw out at 84% of Switch owners have made the transition to Switch 2. They have upgraded. And
Well,
so I'm going
all
to pass.
Switch 2 owners,
Yes.
85% were Switch
of the
1
10
owners.
million. Of the
Yeah.
10
Slightly
million,
different
84%.
meaning
Yeah.
between what you said. And
Yeah.
We were going to tease that out, but I'm glad you pointed that out. Justin, I'm going to hand that off to you.
Sure.
Let's talk about just these system sale numbers and where we see things going from here. Let's just bottom line, this is really good.
Yeah. Bottom line, this is great. I think anytime that, Nintendo, set a goal of approximately 15 million for the first year, for their first financial year. And again, we do have to remember that started beginning of June to the end of March. So they're already 3 months in the hole, essentially, for their calculations, because their year is actually from April 1st through to the end of March. But the fact that they are bullish enough to be able to say, hey, we're actually going to increase our sales projections, and by basically, 4 million, that's pretty fantastic. We also, and the other interesting part of that is, like, we know that a couple things that Nintendo has done really well, and the president of Nintendo has talked about as well, is making sure that there was supply, right? Like there was a very small shortage for supply and demand. They are now at a state right now where they are actively, you're able to find them on shelves, which I think is fantastic. The other part of it is we are transitioning now into our holiday season, right? Holiday shopping is now occurring. This, of all the quarters that they are going to report on, is going to be the one they're probably going to have the highest spike, of course. You combine that with a game like Pokemon that has received really good reviews, a very approachable topic or approachable game from a family perception or perspective. You've got something like Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is very family friendly and easy to pick up and play, from the same team as Mario. We'll talk about those sales numbers in a bit as well. And then something like Mario Kart. I think it's a banner year for Nintendo. We also have to remember Nintendo did something very strategic several months ago, which was they increased the price of the base Nintendo Switch. So if you're going in as a consumer into a Best Buy, into a Walmart, and you're looking to buy a Switch, you're going to see the number two, the newest one, the kind of the bigger one, the one that probably draws your eye a little bit more, and know that the price difference, the cost differential between the two, is not as big of a gap as it was when initially launched, and therefore likely to convert or spend that additional bit of money to transition this over. I think the other interesting part of it, and I think we always talked about, like, could the Nintendo Switch 2, and again, we also want to be very cautious. We're only 5 months into it. Right. I don't want us to start to talk about, like, can the Nintendo Switch 2 outpace a Nintendo Switch? I don't know if we're there to have that conversation. First year early adopters, good sales are great, right? But is that an indicator of a long-term strategy and a long-term plan to really be able to ensure that they're capturing sales, capturing consumers to transition over? But I do sort of want to say that, like, I think when the initial Switch came onto market, people didn't know what it was, didn't know the idea, didn't know how it worked, the idea behind it. For the last 7 years, Nintendo, or 8 years, Nintendo has really built a story to understand what the Switch is, right? Like, you understand it's a hybrid console, you understand how it works, like, you've seen it in action, you've seen it pass, like, people understand what it is, they understand how it's used. And so the concept around it isn't foreign. So I think that's one of the things that Nintendo has in their bag right now to really help them move forward. So these are great numbers. Again, not shocked by them as well. And so very interested to end up seeing what the final results will be.
Yeah, so I would say that, like you mentioned the word strategy moving forward, or that phrase, and I think we got a glimpse of that this week as well. That during this, you know, when this information came out, Nintendo basically said, moving forward, we will primarily develop for Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
the timing of that is interesting because I don't think that we saw the timing for that so soon when Switch launched. We still had the 3DS. It still had a pretty long tail on it after Switch launched.
Hmm.
I think that what that tells us, or what we could infer from that rather, is that Nintendo is very happy with the way that Switch 2's launch has gone. They see things trending because they're studying numbers way better than we ever could.
Yep.
And so they are not only pleased with initial sales, but they see or kind of predict where things are going. And they say it's safe for us to kind of begin to take the hooks out of Switch development and begin to transition over. So that should tell us something too, I think, about what we'll see as far as Nintendo Switch 1 sales moving forward. And that's why I don't think I think it will pass Nintendo DS, but I don't think that we'll see it get to PlayStation 2 levels, because if they're transitioning that so much resources over, and I know, like Justin, I saw you put this out on our social media today, that Nintendo's kind of like going in guns blazing with their holiday marketing for
Mm,
Switch 2, and like making a big push. They're very serious about this.
yeah.
Like you could tell by the way those, they're already beginning to kind of align things, and so just Switch 2 in general is the kind of the writing is on the wall. I guess quicker than it was with Switch 1, of hey,
Y-
this is the future, this is where we're going. You need to come on and move over. Like I think that we'll still see a few games that have Switch
mhm.
1 and Switch 2 versions, but I
Yeah.
think we will see those get even sparser throughout
Yeah.
2026.
I mean, I think it's Nintendo stepping forward with a level of confidence that I don't think they had in that transition. They obviously didn't have that confidence, or they had a false sense of confidence in the transition from the Wii to the Wii U. And I think the confidence, and I think that you're talking about there before, the kind of phasing of the 3DS, their confidence stepping into the Switch was, I think, apprehensive.
Mhm.
Right, they didn't know if it was going to work. They were really they were combining, of course, their home console and handheld for the first time. Right, there's a lot of concerns that occurred there. But this is a Nintendo that, 8 years later, I think it has a bit of swagger in their step in relation to what they're doing. They're confident in the product that they're creating. I think their messaging is pretty clean and simple, especially when you compare that to something like Xbox right now, who's definitely struggling in that space. We kind of see that as well. And I think PlayStation that isn't necessarily struggling from a stock perspective, but I think struggling from a software perspective to really help kind of sell some of that value. And you hear some of these interesting. You also hear some of the things out in the kind of gaming sphere right now. Sarah Bond has kind of, or not Sarah Bond, the president of Microsoft has sort of talked about like console exclusives are dead and gone. Well, not for Nintendo, right? Nintendo is a very console exclusive, or IP exclusive platform that does incredibly well and will continue to do and not change. Where I think you are definitely seeing sort of a shift in the other players in Microsoft and Xbox's approach to games being kind of everywhere, or servicing other. Um, Servicing each other essentially as well. So it's a very interesting statement, but I do believe with you. I do believe you're right, Marty. I think we are going to see the tail of the Switch, the original Switch, kind of go down a bit. We will see a holiday boost in the sales. I think especially for people who are like, hey, I want to pick up a really cheap game console like a Switch Lite, right? You'll be able to get those on
Mm.
pretty good sales right now. We obviously know that the Nintendo Switch has an incredible library, regardless of Switch 2 games. There's a massive, huge, incredible library for people to jump into, and so I don't think that's a bad decision at all either.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to put themselves in an interesting position. I do think, very interestingly enough, I do want to like just put a little bit of a visual out there for those of you that may have missed it. And I obviously wasn't here last week, and I'm sure you all probably talked about it. Nintendo's announcement of Animal Crossing New Horizons getting a Switch 2 version in January, right? I think it's very interesting that, you know, Nintendo in their first 12 months, not even with the Switch 2, is bringing out sort of their two biggest IPs that really drove their software sales in their past 8 years, and saying like, ring, 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 you should really get on board. Now's a great time for you to come back. Oh, by the way, you loved Animal Crossing before. Remember that thing you played during the pandemic? Oh, how great that was. P.S. We've got an update for you. P.S. It looks even better on this console. P.S. You get some additional features and updates on it now. Now, there has never been a better time to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 than right now, prior to the holiday season, preparing for that January release.
Tim, Jesse, y'all have any thoughts you want to share before we move on this?
Well,
Just
one thing that
system sales.
This is more for sales in October outside of these numbers, but Spawnwave every Friday will talk about the Famitsu sales charts, which was physical sales in Japan region only. And if you've been kind of tracking that, the Switch 2 has been selling between 40 and 45,000 units every week. It's basically whatever Nintendo can ship out sells. But last week, the first weekend with Pokemon in it, because now they have the Pokemon bundle, they were able to push out more systems, because I'm sure they had them stockpiled. But that first week was like over 200,000 units.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that's just Japan.
Have you guys seen the Pokemon bundle anywhere? Like, not like, I'm not talking about like somebody picking up a pre-order, but have you seen it on a shelf anywhere here?
I really haven't looked.
I go just wander to the video game section every time I go to Walmart 2 or 3 times a week. And I have yet to see the Pokemon bundle. Mario Kart you could find, but and I don't even see those now. You know, it's like the bundles are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's we're seeing, you know, kind of what I said from the beginning is like, why even make the one without the game by being, like sell the download code if you don't want it. I mean, but
I mean, it is interesting. Like, we did see the actual sales numbers for Mario Kart, right? Like, what is it, 93% or something like that? Like,
yeah. So I was
ridiculous.
kind of gonna lean into that because you talked a little bit about software there at the end of what you were
Sure.
saying.
Yeah.
That we're already seeing. This is as of September 30th. Mario Kart World already has sold 9.57 million. Just 3.94 million units in what stat is that, Jesse? There, that 3.94.
That's during the quarter, and then including the June from Q1 is 9.57 total.
Yeah, so just this past quarter, 3.94 million. And what Justin was alluding to, almost a 93% attach rate, which is insane.
Yeah.
For a game. Now, get it. It's a pack-in.
Well, yeah, but as I say, like,
in a way.
Well, hold on a second though. Like that, and that's really important to like.
But people had to choose that pack-in.
You had to, yeah. So I was going to say, like, name me another game that has has a 92% attachment rate. Like, other than the fact that yes, you got the initial Mario cartridge when you bought the NES,
right? Maybe Wii Sports.
Wii Sports. Yeah, this early on in the Switch life cycle, Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah, that would be it, right? And so to me, that's an example of the data that indicates it's a console mover, right? Like, if you can tell me you have like an attachment rate that high, you're moving it because of that, right? I would be very interested to see like what the attachment rate was for Animal Crossing and new Switches at like March 2020, right? Like those are correlations there. Any game company,
because that game did shoot up to number 2 really fast.
Yeah. Sony or
I thought
Xbox?
it might have passed Mario Kart to be number one, only to lose
Yeah.
it again, but it never got to
Yeah.
that number one slot.
Any
So
publisher would love to have that attachment rate, and I want to be very careful when these things. So you're like, oh, it was a box, it was a pack-in. Yes and no, right? It was a pack-in you had to pay for. That's different than being a pack-in. Right, a
well,
pack-in is it's
you
already
got a
bundled in.
discount on it. That's about it.
You don't get to a la carte it out. Right, this was you made a decision that yes, I am going to purchase this game anyways, but I have decided that I'm purchasing this versioning of it.
Yeah. I also want to throw this out here that I think it's important to note that Donkey Kong Bonanza, since its launch, sold almost as many units as Mario Kart World did in that quarter.
Yep,
Right?
100%.
At 3.49 million units, which is huge. I hope Donkey Kong has a banger of a holiday. People need, like, that game deserves to be played. It's so good. uh,
And I do think it's important to put some context there. That essentially means that like if we so let's just put some context around this. We have approximately 10 million Nintendo Switch 2 sold, and we have 3.5 million Bonanza. Meaning you have approximately a 35% attachment rate for
yeah,
Donkey Kong
1/3.
Bonanza.
Like
Yeah,
basically 1/3 of
right.
Switch owners own Donkey Kong Bonanza.
100%. So that's a really good place to also be at in regards to sales, because I think when you look at it, you're like, oh, 3.49 relative to the amount of consoles that are in the wild is really important for us to actually look at that
Right.
attachment rate and understand the actual impact. Because on a scale, you're like, that's pretty small, right? Well, actually, that's quite a big attachment rate and sales number for a game for that type of game. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where Pokemon lands in there, because
I
right
agree.
now we know there's about 3 million per system,
Yeah.
and that's physical only. We don't know what, digital is about 45 to 50% on top of that.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be looking at 6 million each between Switch and 6 on Switch 2.
That's
I
such
would
a
say
total.
it's definitely on track to become the number 2 best-selling game on Switch
Yeah.
too.
That's such a great statement, Jesse, that I think we so often forget. The numbers that we're being provided are actual physical sales numbers, right? It's not digital. And what Jesse's alluding to there is that we know through the data that basically 50% of sales now are digital. So whatever you're taking from a hardware, like an actual physical hardware or a physical software perspective, add 50% to it, and it's a pretty accurate, feels like, combined sort of statement. But I do think what we will likely see as these numbers shake out and we move into our next quarter, Pokemon will be higher than Donkey Kong, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I believe that as well. And then
Yeah.
it'll be in the million seller just on the Switch 1 list, and it'll be in the mid 30s.
Mhm. Yeah. Just a couple of little, like, actual Nintendo Switch sales numbers for you. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is now
Who
just
is
shy
still
of
buying
70
this?
million.
People
At
still buying Switches.
69.56 million. They sold 700,000 units. It's
So that's
in
that
the time since the last report.
the new 8 Deluxes versus new Switches. That's like an 80% attach rate in
Yeah,
year
and
8.
again,
Yeah.
I
Year
want to put
9.
context there. Almost, let's just do some rounding here. Almost 70 million. We have 155 Switches in the wild. You're just below a 50% attachment rate for Mario Kart 8.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and I mean, you're still kind of in the ballpark with number 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, now at 48.62 million. It sold for 430,000 units.
Yeah, as I was
Smash
updating
Brothers.
the units this quarter,
Uh,
almost consistently the numbers actually increased from Q1.
wow.
Not by a lot, but still an increase nonetheless.
Yeah, Smash Brothers still at number 3 at 36.93 million. Breath of the Wild at 33.34 million. And rounding out the top 5, Mario Odyssey at 29.84 million. And then for your bottom, 6 through 10, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 27.61 million. Pokemon Sword and Shield at 26.96 million. Very, very close margin there. Tears of the Kingdom at 22.93 million. Mario Party, or I'm sorry, Super Mario Party, the original one, 21.23 million, and New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, 18.53 million. So first party million seller games, Nintendo Switch has two, or I'm sorry, Nintendo Switch 2 has two. We've already talked about those, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong. Nintendo Switch has 73 first party games that are million sellers or greater. I mean, the bottom of that list is Bayonetta 3 at 1.07 million. It only goes up from there. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, we did get a sales update to Mario Party Jamboree is now at 8.64.
Just looking for where Dragon Drive is.
It's
not a million seller.
Right. Nintendo also spent some time reiterating upcoming games. Of course, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment out today. Kirby Air Riders later this month on November 20th. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond on Metroid 4's Day. And then Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 edition is out January 15th. Mario Tennis Forever February 12th. Super Mario Brothers Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition meetup in Bella Bell Park. I now feel like that will be in March. That's going to be because you see they're lining up something every month. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, spring 2026.
I would suspect that's also
May.
a March game. No, I think it's a March game. Yeah, I think you're gonna. I think that's gonna be your end of March game, Yoshi.
Okay, all right.
Last 2 weeks.
Pokemon Pokopia is still out there in 2026. So is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, and Splatoon Raiders. Who knows? Right?
Splatoon Raider. Oh my gosh, where would I slot that? Well,
April
like
or
again,
May?
they've given us. No, I would Splatoon Raiders. Nintendo's not shy of dropping traditionally, or has in the past, put Splatoon almost as a summer game. I wouldn't be shocked to see that on a July.
August sounds normal.
July or August feels right. Yeah.
And
Fortune's Weave. Oh, that feels like a September, October game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like far off, right?
And then Pokemon Pokopia. I think that is likely a October.
Yeah. And also, I mean, don't forget it. We did talk that development is shifting to Nintendo Switch 2, but that doesn't mean that there are not games coming to just Nintendo Switch. Tomodachi Life, Rhythm Heaven Groove, and Pokemon Champions are all out there in 2026. Of course, those will work on Switch 2 as well. We know that by now, but these are games that were developed for Nintendo Switch first. And that is not counting third parties. They're also out there too, like Octopath Traveler 0, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade coming January 22nd, Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined on February 5th.
All the sevens.
The massive Resident Evil presence at the end of February with Resident Evil Generation Pack and Requiem out on February 27th.
Well, and I think you may have missed, and I don't know if it was announced last week by the time you had this, Assassin's Creed Shadows is announced now and confirmed to be coming December 2nd. So it is a stacked one. It'll be interesting to see what else Ubisoft ends up bringing over. I think they had great success with Star Wars Outlaws. You've seen a lot of patches with that. A lot of people are really happy with that port. If Assassin's Creed Shadows can be even in that same vein, I think Ubisoft is sort of seeing that there be money in dem hills, as they would say.
Yep. Future's looking bright, guys. Those are good numbers.
I will say also,
after
Grand
Christmas.
Theft Auto 6 got delayed till November of 2026. Who knows?
I could anyway. So let's shift gears and let's talk about another release Nintendo had this week. Nintendo Store app is now available on mobile devices. So this marks Nintendo's fourth app, or is it fifth, that you can download. So there's Nintendo Music, Nintendo Parental Controls, Nintendo
Switch Online,
Nintendo Music,
it's now
and
just
Nintendo
called Yeah, it's now just called Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, there's just a bunch. There's just a bunch. But this is a really useful app. I like this app. Number one, clicking on a game you want to purchase takes you to the game's webpage, so you don't have to actually order anything in the store app, or you can actually order anything in the store app. But
I found
there
that
is
funny.
there's a play activity viewer that will give you the same rounded to 5 hour estimate that the Switch OS will give you, but it will also show you games all the way back to the Wii U and the 3DS, which is incredible to go back and look at your history of games there, and it will actually have that rounded to 15-minute intervals. So you can actually go in and see some really detailed stuff. Like you can even see what days you played a certain title. Like if you tap on that title, you can go in and see I played it yesterday and the day before, but I skipped a day. Whatever. Jesse says when checking on Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake on Wednesday, when he downloaded the app, it said over 5 hours total, but adding up the daily play sessions, it was 6 hours and 15 minutes. So it's really not 100% accurate, but it's a better way to get your total play time then, and you can even do like your top 10, like you can sort it by how many hours you've spent on a title, which was crazy because it like my time on Fortnite was ridiculous. And Tim's sharing his screen right now here. Of course, there's Tim, you're terrible. You didn't play any games today.
Nope. Yes, I did.
Or the, well, right. But why does it say Wednesday?
This is interesting. No, I played Hyrule Warriors today. It did not come out yesterday. So
Weird.
what's that telling you? I don't know. That's
so
not
wonder
right.
if that's just a glitch that they need to fix.
Right.
Probably. Right. So that's really interesting.
Yep.
How that's showing there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when they update the times, because I've always looked in the morning, and my yesterday played hasn't shown up yet. I just checked now, and my yesterday time is there. So
I
right
love
now,
your over 500 is Animal Crossing.
Yep, just that.
yeah. So right now, it says I've been playing Dragon Quest for 5 days, totaling over 10 hours. But if I add them up, the individual times, I'm not going to do that right now in my head, but it'll be somewhere between 10 and 15 hours.
I did like today. I want to point this out to you that when you go and tap on your face in the bottom right hand corner to like go look at your user page, there is a place there to redeem download codes. So today, when Nintendo sent us our code for Hyrule Warriors and Justin passed it on to me, I was actually able to copy and paste that out of the message in Discord straight into there. Bing, bang, boom. No more going to the Nintendo Switch 2 store on the Switch 2 and like meticulously moving and, like if I'm docked, moving the cursor around to get to all the letters. It was literally downloading 30 seconds or
So
less.
it is still the same
message.
redeem code page that you do if you did it on a desktop browser.
Yes, it takes you to the web page.
It takes you to the web
It's just
page.
never been
It's
available
right there.
in a mobile before if you didn't know this
Right.
page existed.
It's right there. It's almost like this is just a front end for the back end of the website.
Yeah.
But that's fine because I would much rather browse what's on the eShop and everything on my phone than I would on the Switch anyway. I really think this will lead to more sales for people because they will be just like, oh, I just want something, and it's going to be real quick and easy to purchase a game. So
yeah, I do kind of agree with you on that one, Marty. I think what they have done is they're sort of making the app store-ification of your digital purchasing, right? And so if you can so easily just go on, click, right, and instantly download right from there, it just removes a barrier for entry for individuals to be able to access that content.
I find this interesting here.
I was going to mention this. Oh, go ahead, Jesse. I'm sorry.
So you can see the bestsellers just like you can in the on Switch eShop. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake Switch 2 Edition is the number 4 bestseller. But if you switch to Nintendo Switch tab, that game doesn't exist. So I think people are not buying this on Switch 1. They're going to the Switch 2.
Sure. One of the things I wanted to point out here too was that this has allowed them to give people the eShop that they've wanted on the system more in an easier way, because like, yes, there's sales and deals and bestsellers and stuff that you can see directly from your system, right? But like Tim's showing right now, there's a tab right there for Nintendo Direct, right? And so all the games that were shown on the Nintendo Direct and accessories, notice that, because there's the Virtual Boy. All of that is right there. If you scroll down a little bit more, Nintendo Partner Showcase 731. So the July Partner Showcase, all those games are collected there. So you don't have to think back and like remember, whatever. But then it's interesting to me that when you scroll down, now you're not just seeing games. Nintendo is allowing people to buy amiibo on here. If it's in their storefront on
The
the
vinyls.
Nintendo store, yeah, the vinyls, Mario Galaxy pins or stickers right there. They're showing games that have demos available. This is this is a step up from what you're able to do on a system, and I think it's going to lead to impulse buys, and Nintendo sees that as a smart strategy. Now,
That's a cool jacket.
it is a cool jacket. I mean,
I got a lot of compliments in the last week wearing that.
yeah, it's a very cool jacket. So the cool thing is it's 100% free, so you can go download it or not if you don't care about having it. There's also news in here that you can look at, which leads me to ask, why do you need the Nintendo Today app if they can do that in here?
Because this stuff is not the same as what you get in the Today app.
But it could be.
This is
right. And hang on,
this is like the press release
before
type
we-
stuff here.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, before we talk about this, there's a question about it later on in the show, and so maybe
You want to pull the question in now?
Yeah. Well, we could do that.
Yeah, pull the question now.
Let's see.
Looking for
Here is, yeah, that's what I was going to do. Or I thought we had a question. Maybe
How
we
much
don't.
from David Baleka, how much would Nintendo?
Oh yeah, how much would
benefit?
Nintendo or the community benefit if all the Nintendo apps, Music Store Today, were consolidated into one app or program? Would this make a difference? And if this would be done, can Nintendo make the one app run on the Switch too? That's two totally different questions.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's a couple questions that I think, and I sort of joked in the introduction, which is like, another app, right? Like, do we really? Like, why are these not one giant combined app? And I think the way, and I sat with it for a bit and I contemplated it, and I think I came to the point of like Nintendo understanding potentially its wide range of audience, right? And so would my child, would I want my kids to have an app where they can purchase content or games directly out of their storefront? Probably not. Would I want them to maybe have one where they can check the latest information and play games about Mario and watch the latest Direct? Yes. Would I want them one where they can listen to some of the music from Nintendo? Yes. So I think in some ways Nintendo's separation of sort of the features and functionalities that they have into these separate apps allows for a little bit of gatekeeping, potentially around sort of how people may or may not use it. And so would I prefer one combined app? Probably, right? But I sort of understand like why they're likely doing what they're doing.
I
I don't
that.
necessarily think it's the most functional approach to it,
Yeah, this
but I do
also
understand
lets
logically
them
why.
give a bolstered download count to their investors. While
Yep.
they can say we have our app can do 5 different things and it's been downloaded 10 million times, or we have 5 different apps that's been downloaded 50 million times. Which sounds better to you?
100%. But I do believe like the idea of bringing content, bringing purchasing decisions closer to an individual's fingertips is something that any organization wants to do. Remove the barriers of entry. I think the other part of it that I find very interesting is this is really pushing forward even more the digital usage of their shop, right? As opposed to like, listen, I can, again, I can either go down to, Best Buy and buy it, or I can just hit this button right here, walk away, and when I come back in a couple moments, it's there. Similar to how I approach the App Store, right? And so they're really trying to bring down that barrier of entry in their approach. This, and I think, even as you look at Nintendo's strategy, I was having a conversation uh, about writing an extended article on some of this stuff as well. But like Nintendo strategically, like again, the Switch had an expanded hard drive. They have put out games, Dragon Drive, that are only digital games. They put out only games before, but that's an interesting strategy for them. They continue to have that expansion where you can put more memory into it. You can see that like the digital game cards take up a lot of memory as well. So they're slowly, I'm not saying they're leaving the physical space, but they're making some moves strategically that sort of shows that they're really looking to increase it. And let's be honest, the cost to them of you purchasing a digital game versus you purchasing a physical game, the cost for them is lessened, right? There's no overhead for shipping, production, all of those pieces. So it's a leaner function to it. And I mean, you can, probably associate this with like organizational KPIs of like, we're trying to be a greener company by reducing the amount of, and I think we've seen this before of like, they talked about being greener in regards to like how they're packing content and how they're putting stuff in boxes and reducing sizes. Well, if we can say that, by the way, our digital, our footprint, our against the environment is lessened because we're using more digital, people are purchasing more games digitally as opposed to cartons and boxes and stuff like that. There's something to be said there for a shareholders argument as well. But I do think that this is just helping them position themselves for that more digital forward facing organization.
Yeah, I agree. Either way, I appreciate it. I think it's a whole lot easier than grabbing my system and navigating through that. And just like you said, Justin, you brought up the App Store. I think that's a great point. They see, as you also have already said, there's gold in our heels, right?
Yep.
One thing
and so
one thing I want to test is, I haven't done it yet, is if I launch my 3DS and play a game, will it still be tracked, or did those go? Is future tracking gone? I tried to look for my Professor Layton playing, but then I remembered, oh, these are DS games, they're not going to count.
yeah, I may
Those
test
are
that out this weekend too.
the
'Cause
two
I've
Layton games are the last games I tried playing on the 3DS. So
been thinking about going back to Metroid 2 on there leading up to Prime 4. But well, good question. I do not think that to answer the second part of your question, David, I don't know that they're going to try to run this app on the Switch 2.
No.
More than anything, what I would really love to see them do is bring the music functionality of the music app to Switch 2 so that you can have your own custom like menu music. That would be an integration, but I don't need Nintendo Today on the Switch 2. I don't need another short I don't need any of that extra functionality on the Switch 2. Let me manage it with my phone. I don't know. I just those two things are constantly with me. I always have my Switch 2, I always have my phone. So it just kind of makes sense. Let's round out news by talking about some releases and updates. Overcooked 2, the Switch 2 edition, is out. It came out a little earlier this week, as did Dinkum. So you can go play the demo of Dinkum on Switch 2 and I think Switch as well. But that full release is out, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment was also out today. And then for the rest of this month, we're excited about Demon School coming out on the 19th, and Kirby Air Riders on the 20th, and Constance coming out on November 24th. And then December is, yes, Justin.
I'll put a plug in for a game that's not on our list. Giga Sword coming out November 13th. This is a game that I played over at PAX East. Metroidvania. This was, I believe, my game of show.
Yeah, this looks great.
You need to check this game out. I can tell you that it's really good and that there might be coverage soon on our channel, but I can't tell you that.
Right.
I think I downloaded the demo on Steam and never tried.
Oh, and the
Yeah,
actually, I think the demo right now actually on the Switch.
There
I
is a demo on
believe.
Switch. I just went to the
Yeah,
page.
check it
and
out,
boom,
play it.
Okay.
there it is.
Yeah, it's great. One of my favorite games of PAX East
Wow,
recently.
cool. That's really nice when there's a demo available as soon as somebody talks about it. uh, thanks, Justin. I like for you to talk about other games like Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Maybe we get a demo for that.
Let me tell you about this game called Metroid Prime. So I got to go.
Uh December's, like I said, is looking great. Marvel Cosmic Invasion on the 1st, Assassin's Creed Shadows on the 2nd, Prime 4 Beyond on the 4th, Octopath Traveler 0 on the 4th, Pokemon Legends Mega Dimensions DLC on the 10th, Mina the Hollower maybe by the end of the year. Who knows?
Supposed to be the end of the year, right?
Yeah, they said a small delay. They didn't say when.
Yeah, it was originally October
Yeah,
31, and then they delayed it
yeah.
to
Yep.
an undisclosed date.
And then we kind of already mentioned this, but early on next year, Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 update and the big 3.0 update and Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate will be January, and then Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Mario Tennis Forever, and the Resident Evil Generation Pack and Requiem on February 27th. Don't tell me you don't have something to play.
Yeah,
Holy
I was
cow.
gonna say, like I don't know about you, but I feel like between now and February, I'm good.
Mhm.
I'm good. Just
Yeah, of the 7 games I bought in the last 2 weeks, I think I've still only played 2 of them.
yeah, like it just yeah. I'm happy that like November, it's a smaller amount of games. Like
Yeah.
Neon Inferno's in there. The Terminator 2 just got moved to December, by the way. It got bumped by
Mm,
a day or a week or two or something like that. Like there's so many games. It's
yeah.
ridiculous right now.
Yeah. But that's good, right? I mean, there's something for everybody. Guys, that's our news this week. Let's pause right here for an ad break from our good friends over at Manscaped. Are we?
Anyone got an ad for Manscaped on this one? Folks, let me
Yeah.
tell you about why we believe here as Tim is getting his documents ready for this. One of the reasons that we enjoy Manscaped so much, as you can tell, we are a bunch of burly, hairy individuals, but Manscaped allows us to feel soft and gentle, like a hill of roses, and we enjoy that feeling. But we also enjoy the great, tremendous products. I kind of joked before that if Manscaped made toothpaste and hair gel, then I would have my entire morning completely fulfilled and ready. They
And
are
they
a
probably are
product that
going to at some point.
probably they're a product that we genuinely, absolutely use every single week or day. Um, they help us kind of take the weird hairs that we have all over our body and get rid of them to make us feel comfortable, to feel appropriate, to feel prepared. We were using the products prior to Manscaped even coming to us as well. And
Yep.
so we're big fans of their products. We think that, as you're thinking of the holiday season coming up here, you're looking for something to get an individual. Listen, maybe you don't want to get them something to trim their balls. That's fine, not a problem. They got all kinds of other products. They got beards, they got stuff for nose hairs, they got things. Listen, they got things for pretty much every hair in your body. All right. So maybe cologne. They've got colognes. They've got body washes. They have got soap, shampoos. They've got lip chap. They have got kind of all the products that you need as part of your daily routine to be established. And so we're thankful for their products. We're thankful for their support. And of course, if you're looking for a discount, head over to manscaped.com. Use our promo code NINDADS, NINDADS, for I believe it's 15 or 20% off. I don't have the copy in
It's
front of me.
20%
20.
off. We've checked, even though the copy says 15, we still
Okay.
have 20% off with our code.
Yeah. So, and PS, when you do that, legitimately, it actually supports us. It actually helps us. Like this is how advertising works. We advertise, we get a cut back. That's how these things are benefiting. So not only are you benefiting yourself or someone else you love with an amazing product, you're also helping us in our community and to create amazing content. And so Tim's got the actual copy you're talking actually about
Nope,
it. Go ahead, Tim.
I don't. I have a question for you. Did you use any Manscaped products when you went on your trip?
I did. I used their deodorant. I'm a big fan of their deodorant. I brought my beard trimmer because my wife does not like my beard
Is it the
stubble at all.
handyman?
So Yeah, the handyman trimmer.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
one we
really good
kept
one.
talking about in the past few weeks about how well it travels. So I
Yeah,
wonder about that.
100%. So and I will tell you, it was all held together in my toiletry bag, which is a Manscaped toiletry bag. Their tool
Shed.
shed, as they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would tell you, and I think I had some chapstick in there also. So yeah, like it legitimately, it is part of our routine. We use it quite frequently. Yeah. So thanks for asking, Tim. I appreciate that.
For sure. Yeah. Again, everybody use NINDADS for 20% off while we still have 20% off.
Before they realize, they're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. We've been getting everybody else 15%. How did you get 20%? Because we got grandfathered in. That's why 20% off.
Yep.
So,
Good
but
stuff.
also you keep an eye on sales. Sometimes they work with the sales, but not always. So
Yeah.
but keep an eye on that.
I just saw the chat. Bro looks exactly like Han Solo tonight. I didn't realize that my dress code made it look a little Han Solo-y.
You scruffy nerf herder.
I love it. I love it.
Let's discuss, shall we?
Do it.
Justin's
All right,
color
guys,
changed.
we're going to get a bonus round this week with our question of the week. We do have a mystery block blind ranking that we'll do here in just a minute, but this one comes in courtesy of the app conversation that we had a little bit earlier, and that is we are now this week was 1 year, the 1 year anniversary of Nintendo Music, the app. And so I thought we would ask, how much are you guys using the service and what's your favorite track?
For me, it's been, I started off when we got the app. I think it was there, but if it wasn't, eventually when it became there, I was listening to a lot of the Metroid Prime soundtrack because I love that soundtrack. But lately it's been, especially when they brought out the Donkey Kong Bonanza special tracks, I was listening to that, and then more recently the Animal Crossing New Horizons
those are
tracks, because you can actually pick the time of day, the music that plays there to play those tracks, and so I just kind of made a playlist and let those play while I'm working sometimes, and it's nice and mellow. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. What about the rest of you?
Yeah, I don't have a specific track that is my favorite, but I probably would. I would I'll listen to like the Zelda and the Zelda 2 intro tracks, especially the Famicom version that has the extra sound channel. But when a year ago I barely touched the app, but I have found that I'm trying to sleep at night. I have a hard time sleeping. So I will. So almost nightly for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I will launch the app, play one of their nighttime playlists, and just set it to stop it in 30 minutes, and then I try to go to sleep while the music's playing. And I think that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say for myself, I've used it like once or twice. I typically, like when I'm driving, I'm usually listening to podcasts. And when I'm at work, I'm usually listening to like YouTube music in the background. So I just don't naturally go to it. But when I have gone to it, games that what I have enjoyed listening to is I'll listen to like one that I've gone to a couple times is that opening bit of the interlude for Breath of the Wild. That kind of as you come onto the Great Plateau to do that kind of thing. Also, very much like Animal Crossing music is super soothing when I have used it as well. So
I have not used it as much as I thought I would, but I was enjoying listening to some Super Mario World tracks the other day. That game is super special to me. And so
It's a
being
very
able to
good one.
go and listen to those, listen through some of the better tracks from there anytime I want is
Yep.
pretty good. I do wish that there was a way that they could get third-party games on there. Just because, there's so many games, synonymous with certain years
They
of
have to pay
Nintendo,
for
like
those.
Yeah, I know.
They don't have to pay for their own stuff.
Maybe Nintendo could pay for them for us. I don't know.
That's what I mean.
They have the list.
Nintendo would have to put forth money to get to the third party
Right.
music.
They have the listening history, and I noticed that I most recently listened to the new Super Mario Brothers soundtracks.
Okay.
And like World 1, 2, 3, and 4, it looks like, and then the Ghost House theme around Halloween.
Oh,
from
yeah.
New Super Mario Brothers. So
I
good
didn't
stuff
even know
on
they
there.
did that type of
But-
tracking. Where's that
but-
at?
But I would
Under
say
your My Music.
I would say I definitely see how Nintendo is using it as part of their marketing strategy, right?
Mhm.
And like how many of us were like, and I think that the composer recently came out, or the music director recently came out of like the Mario Kart world. Everyone's like, this music is amazing. And you're like, yes. He's like, we just can't get it over the app right now. We're working on it. It's difficult, right? And like we all think it's as easy as like drag and drop an audio file, but like they used it to promote Bonanza. I think they Air Riders. So they're using it as part of their strategy, which I think is great. And I think you've seen, especially in the Switch 2, and again, we're only a couple months into it, but like Bonanza, Mario Kart, these are just like really good music, right?
Mhm.
Like I'll just like close my eyes and just chill to this music. And so they've really, I think, elevated that, and they just have some of the most iconic music and sounds that we as a society know. And so I think it's great for them to lean into it.
Cool.
And Jesse, by
stuff.
the way, it's My Music, and you tap on your icon, and under there you see history listening.
Yeah. I checked it on my phone. They don't seem to sync between my phone and my iPad, so I'd have to look at my iPad to see.
My
Okay.
music.
Because the phone still
Yeah.
said is the last thing that it had me was when I played Zelda 2. But I definitely played other songs since then.
All
Nice.
right. Good stuff, guys. So, been holding out on you, and last week I wasn't ready. So now it is time for you guys to go through the first round of 3 of my mystery block blind ranking game. And it probably comes as no surprise that all 3 of these games are going to be related to the greatest non-Mario gaming franchise of all time, which is Mega Man.
Mega Man.
All right. And so I thought about how we would do this. And there was a couple of things I really wanted to do that I thought maybe would get us in trouble. Really what I wanted to do was have you rank Mega Man music by playing a snippet of the track, and you just have to do 1 to 5. Well, I thought we might get copyright strike for that. So I was like, well, that's not good. So the second best thing, I think, is for us to rank Robot Masters.
Ooh. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Based on their design.
Okay.
Okay. So what I've done is I went through all 11 mainline Mega Man games, and I picked certain categories
I think I might know a third of them then.
what's going to happen is you don't have to know them. You're actually going to see a picture of them, and you're going to decide one at a time, 1 to 5. All right. So I'll go ahead and tell you that the category is going to be the same every week. It's just going to have a variation. So the way this game is going to work is Robot Masters. This is week 1. Robot Masters, who their name starts with the letter G.
I thought you were gonna play a game where we had to try and name the Robot Masters.
No, we're not naming the robot. That's a good one though. You may have just given me an idea for the next week. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share my screen, and we're blind ranking Robot Masters that start with the letter
And I'm
G.
still on full screen from when Tim shared his screen earlier and never went back to the
All
other
right.
scene. So we're good.
So here we go. I'm going to application window. All right. I need to figure out how do I stop sharing.
Should be a red button
You should
somewhere
see a button that says stop sharing.
that I
I don't.
see like a grenade man probably.
Is he
Okay.
gone? Is he gone?
He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah. Okay, I shared the wrong screen. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
Nice.
This is the first one. This
Okay.
is Grenade Man.
I guessed right.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate this and you have to, we got to come to a consensus. So no
Well, the fact-
details given.
Well, the fact I was able to identify it, with having never played whatever game
In
that he
particular,
comes from.
this is a Robot Master from Mega Man 8.
Okay.
I like the fact that we could tell quickly it was a grenade. I sort of like the integration of like how the grenade looks. I'd give this like a 3 out of 5.
Well, we got yeah, I was going to say second or third place, so I'm okay with third.
Yeah, I think placing it at number 3 works. It's pretty cool. I do like this one.
Okay. Good deal. All right. So Grenade Man number 3. Jesse, are you going to keep these in the notes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Grenade Man is number 3. All right. Up next is, let's see here, Gyro Man for Mega Man 5. Gyro Man.
That's a 5 for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking down, either 4 or 5.
Ooh, yeah. That is definitely a 5. Looks like you got like some broken snowshoes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brendo
Gyro
says
Man, Mega
Skeeto
Man
Man.
Yeah, totally
Keto
ski
Man.
man.
Okay, yeah. Could be Throwing Star Man, Ninja Star Man. They're all right.
Sorry,
Okay.
what's Gyro? Is his name? Like I wouldn't get that from
Gyro
this design.
Gyro Man.
Yeah.
Gyro Man.
He probably transforms into a helicopter.
I think he does. Mega Man 5 is not my favorite one. So his weapon's good though. All right. Y'all ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. This is Gravity Man.
Mm.
Also from Mega Man 5.
4 for me.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're boxing ourselves into 1 and 2, but I agree with the 4.
He's got some weird things going on.
Yeah,
He's he's got the Batman 1 face, the mashed into the Batman mask.
I'm concerned about his pinky finger, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that pinky is
like that's broken.
It's like he was
That's
doing like a
finger.
whoa, Hank 10 and
yeah, it's the same size as his thumb. That's not right.
I can't do that.
Yeah. And the dots at the top of his chest, are the nipples? I don't know.
Maybe they are.
I'm gonna give him a 4 as well. Like, and it does block us in, unfortunately.
There's that monster that kids have really latched onto the last couple of years, Huggy Wuggy. The blue thing with teeth. That's his chest right there.
That's where they got it from.
Eyes and the mouth with the dial.
That person played a lot of Mega Man 5 and came up.
Maybe they did. That's what it came from.
That character.
All right, so we're ready.
Longest Mole says the Battle Network version of Gyro Man is straight up a transformer.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's fine. I mean, I was cool with that. Okay, we got 2 left. So these are either going to be 1 or 2. All right.
Okay.
Up next, we've got Gemini Man.
I'm okay with putting him higher.
Gemini Man.
Gemini Man.
Splits in 2, has the Gemini laser.
Ooh.
I like that's a pretty clean look.
His stage is made out of crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, not upset by this. I keep coming back to 2, but that locks us in for 1 regardless.
Yeah.
Right? So
either way, we're locking in. I was thinking 1 because I do like this design.
Yeah. Like, if you're to say what is the best, yeah, okay. I'm okay. I'd concede a 1 with you, Jesse.
I
like the 1. I like the 1.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. I like that. Reed Diller says the dude is clean.
Okay. So I mean he's literally gleaming in the picture, right?
Yep.
So that means that your number 2 for picks of Robot Masters that start with names that start with letter G is Gutsman.
Okay. That's a classic.
From Mega Man 1.
I'm okay with him being 2.
Yeah. It's fine. I think if I could make a move, I would swap him with number 3.
Yeah.
Make 3 number 2
okay.
and number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd agree with that. But other than that,
This
I'm
works.
okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this first round.
Friendo says
Yeah, I like
Underbite
that you
Man.
gave the pictures.
I think the next game you do with as a Marty is name the Mega Man boss. Like you just show it's like I couldn't tell you that's gut man.
Yeah.
That would be very funny.
Yeah, it looks like McDonald's man. That's right. Thank you,
And
friend.
McDonald's man. Okay, so he's gone now. We're back to reality. All right. Well, good game, guys. I think you made a good list.
I like it.
I can't. I mean, I can't say anything. It's my game. And with that, let's take a little time out. All right. So it's my timeout this week, and I want to tell you guys about one of the best things that I've ever eaten in my entire life in the last few days. All right. I don't know if that's the right description for it. If you go to your Taco Bell, your local Taco Bell within the next couple of days, and you go to the counter, and this was my experience. I had to go to the counter and ask for this like some kind of illicit drug deal. I walk in and I'm like,
hey, you got that pie back there?
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Our registers were down. They had to bring it up at drive-through, which made it feel even more like an illicit drug deal. But I come in and they were like, there's a note posted. And like, I go to the kiosk that they have and you can't find it on there. What am I talking about? I'm talking about they have made a Mountain Dew Baja Blast pie. And y'all, you're not ready for the Baja Blast pie. I'm just gonna say this. If you're listening to this and you like Baja Blast, you owe it to yourself to go and purchase this pie.
When you got that pie, when you got that, did you run out of there like you were stealing something?
No, I didn't run out of there. I didn't run out of there, but I kind of felt like I did because listen to this. Nerdist posted earlier today about it that some Taco Bells in more populated areas were only getting 12 of these pies. That's how limited edition they are.
Wow.
And that's why I said if you want one, you need to go, and you need to go tomorrow. All right, or you need to go today if you're hearing this on Friday.
How are they delivered? Are they frozen or refrigerated?
They are frozen. So when you get the pie, you cannot buy just a slice of Baja Blast pie. All right. You have to buy the whole pie. It is $19.99 plus tax. And it is every bit as Baja Blast colored as you think it is. But I'm here to tell you, it tastes like Baja Blast. It's got a ring. It's got a graham cracker crust. It's got a ring of whipped cream around the edge. And then it's like a glowing tropical bluish green. And consistency wise, the only way that I know to describe it is that, and we ate it, like we let it thaw out. It had been in the car for about 30 minutes before I got home because it came out and it was frozen. All right. So it'd been in the car for about 25 minutes ish. We got it home and it was still like real hard in the middle. And so we put it in the fridge and let it thaw out a little bit. But cutting the pie is like cutting caramel, like a caramel, like it's
really
got
dense.
it's got some density to it.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all, when I tell you it tastes like it's Baja Blast, like this is
Jesse.
I'm gonna see
Jesse,
if I can do.
Jesse,
Yeah.
I put in the chat a link. When you get a moment, can you please open that link and be ready to share your screen with it, please, and the audio associated with it? Because just as Marty is talking about this is the only thing that keeps coming to my mind as he's describing this. So when you have a moment, sir, if you could please share and play, that would be.
Chat? I don't.
It's in our Twitch chat.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to click on it.
I'm afraid to hear what it is.
By the way, you can go if you have the
Oh,
Taco Bell app.
okay.
You can go into the app and find what store they have the pies at.
Yeah, but the thing is that you cannot order it on the app. You
No, you
actually have
can't.
to go in
It didn't
and look somebody in the
simply
eye
saying.
and say,
But
"You got to eat that
Simply
pie."
saying that
But
you can find the
It
store
doesn't
that
tell
they have
you
them at.
which stores have pies. It just gives you
No, it does.
It just brings you to the regular find a store link. So
it's this thing is such an abomination that it's broken the app.
all right, here's Justin's link.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Okay.
That's kind of how it feels. Like bringing this home kind of felt like, and like when I went to my Taco Bell, the employee that sold it to me, they're like, "This is the first one of these we've sold. We're thinking about pulling our money here today on this shift and buying one and trying it because we don't even know what it's like. Like they didn't even send any for us to like sample. She didn't say how many of them they had. I just know it's extremely limited. It's uncanny. That's all I'm like. Yeah.
Do you remember We're of the Age Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies? Do you remember these things?
Do I
as you
remember those? I've been
describe it and
chasing that high
and
since
show the
I was
picture,
12.
that is what it looks like to me.
Turtle
It looks
pies, you're
like
talking about like the thing that had vanilla
Yeah.
pudding in the middle, and it
Mhm.
had like the candy shell or the
Yep.
crispy shell on the outside that was like green cream, like Krispy Kreme. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, if they brought turtle pies back out now, oh my gosh. Holy cow. Those
When I'm out and about tomorrow, I'm going to see if I can find one, and I will keep it frozen and serve it during the holidays.
Yeah, do it at Thanksgiving. It's a great conversation piece. Here's our.
I'm the one in charge of desserts anyway, so why the hell
Baja
not?
Blast pie. Have at it. I'm waiting until tomorrow when I have like my second piece of it to see if the consistency of it's changed any for being in the free, like to see if it's gotten less dense.
That's fair.
But like it works. Like you got the Baja Blast, you got the whipped cream, adds a little extra sweetness to it, graham cracker
Sell it
crust.
to me at breakfast time. So when I go get breakfast, Taco Bell breakfast, I can say, give me that pie.
Do you still have Taco Bell breakfast where you are?
Yes, we do.
Because ours quit.
Did they?
It's awful.
They seem like they're all starting to get.
It's terrible. I love Taco Bell breakfast crunch wrap is one of the greatest things ever invented.
Yeah,
fantastic.
By my old house, I still do that, but in my current new house, it's primarily a KFC with a Taco Bell inside, so I can no longer order from the Taco Bell app for that location.
Oh,
because it's a KFC.
What are they doing?
I don't know. I don't like it.
What are they doing? Justin is just like he keeps looking at into the camera, and I'm like, the only thing I hear is like staring in Canadian. Like we don't do this up here. Maybe you would have like Baja Blast Timbits or something. I don't know.
You keep my country's coffee shop out of your damn mouth. All right.
Listen, we
would not
here now. It's not just Canadian.
It's in our coffee shops.
It's not just Canadian coffee anymore. They've come down here.
I know, but they are a part of our
Listen,
tapestry.
When I was the one time that I've been in Canada, I did visit a Tim Hortons. They were wonderful. The people were wonderful. The Timbits were wonderful.
Hey, if it wasn't for Tim Hortons, we wouldn't have Nintendo Dads.
I was going to say the same thing.
I can't do Mountain Dew. You've seen me on the Mountain Dew tastings. I don't understand the product.
And I don't think the caffeine's there, but I will say, it's like if it weren't for Tim Hortons, we wouldn't have Nintendo Dads. If it weren't for Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie, I wouldn't have type 3 diabetes.
Type 3?
So, I mean, we're just inventing new types over here because they keep making stuff that we're just pushing into a new scale.
This is Baja Blast Diabetes. We put it right in the pie for you, and then when you're ready, we'll just scoop it in your mouth for you.
I inject a Baja Blast every week
Do
on
you
Saturday
like
morning.
things that make your stomach feel like it's trying to escape your body? Do you
Yeah.
like your whole
Listen-
bloodstream feeling like it's vibrating all at once? Well, ladies and gentlemen, have we got a pie for you from
Listen-
Baja Blast, Mountain Dew.
Listen to the Nintendo dads. We'll give you type 3 diabetes.
Type 3 diabetes.
Yeah,
And
I
on
love that on our
note,
box art.
let's talk about what we've been playing. I feel can I just say too that I feel like if this was going to be a long-term promotion, I feel like from Extra Life somebody somewhere should win a Baja Blast pie from us.
But we can't
But
Happy to
I
see
don't.
they
But
can.
the thing is I can't offer that because I don't know if it's going to be around. Like it's
Yeah.
not something I could just go in the app and get. But I would love to send someone a Baja Blast pie.
Can I get
I
the
don't know.
Baja Blast pie in Canada? Oh
You
no,
can't.
that's just
They're-
Baja
It probably
Blast.
it just shuts down your browser. It's like no.
I looked in the terms and the conditions, and it says limit one per order, so we'd have to leave and come back.
Yeah.
And then-
Let me tell you
Yeah.
what I definitely want to be taxed through our tariff program is your Baja Blast. I'm going to give you 40% if you take it back.
Listen, just because you can't handle caffeine doesn't mean that other normal people can't. So what's worse for you, by the way, a Mountain Dew or a Monster drink? Because you've had both. You even had a Ghost. You even had a Ghost.
Monster doesn't do it to me. That doesn't. Red Bull is the one, and I don't remember. I don't know if I told you the story, Marty. We may have told it on content here. We were at PAX East, PS folks. PAX East tickets are going on sale soon, right away. And it's at the end of March. So, folks, we loved going to PAX East. I don't think we're going to go this year, but PS, those tickets are going on sale. You may want to check them out, pick them up because they go quickly. There is a creators lounge where you got Red Bulls for free. It was great. It was
all
amazing.
over the place.
All over.
4
I-
packs.
And like
I
you
think
literally,
my daughter
showed up,
had
they
me
gave you your media
take
badge,
like
and they
a
gave
half
you
dozen for her to take home.
they gave you a box of 2. And I had a
yeah,
long
it was 2.
flight because I had got a cheap flight in, so I was tired, I was exhausted. And I'm on the floor and I'm trying to stay awake, waiting for Jesse and Tim to show up. And I'm like, here's a great idea. I'm gonna chug one of these things.
There you go.
And I am done that thing in 5 minutes, and I literally was like, yeah, my heart is going to come out of my chest. Like I can feel my body vibrating. Yeah, it's not good.
In Canada, do they sell Alani drinks?
I don't
They're
think so.
an energy drink. They kind of are in a similar can to Red Bull. They're super popular, like because they do like seasonal flavors.
Yeah.
So like around Halloween, they did a witch's brew, which is like a caramel
Okay.
apple. They've got a Winter Wonderland one out now, and we found it grocery shopping the other night, and they had a deal buy 2 for a certain price. And
Yeah.
so like my wife does this app where she scans the receipt and gets points,
Yep.
and then turns it into gift cards and all that stuff.
Yep.
And so she was like, I don't know if she wants me to tell this, but like we're going out of Kroger and she's like picking up people's receipts off the ground. Like she's like foraging. It's like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And she goes to the car and is like scanning like 5, 6 receipts. And she's like, hey, this one will say I can get an extra 1,000 points if I scan Alani's. And so she scanned it. Then she got another 1,000 points because it was another receipt. So she takes it, puts it in the front seat because we're about to drive, go pick my daughter up. And we're sitting there and we're doing something. And she opens her door in the car for some reason. And my Alani falls out on the
Oh
pavement.
no.
And gets a nick in the side. And so it's spraying Alani really slow. And she's like, oh no, it busted open. I was like, give it here. Just pick it up off the parking lot and give it here. And so I just take it and just
You
bite the
shotgun it.
side of it. Oh yeah. And it was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. I mean, like I could smell colors, and I like, you know how like there's that moment in the old Hulk movie that's the really bad Hulk movie. I think both of them are really bad, but like where he's trying to like make the Hulk not the Hulk, and like some of the radiation comes out and it turns him into the guy with the big brain, like Maestro or whatever his name is. I can't remember.
Oh,
I felt like
yeah.
that was happening to me on the way home. I felt like I was becoming that guy on the way home. Like my head felt like it was gigantic. I was like, and you know, I would not recommend drinking an energy drink in 3 minutes. Nothing
No,
good comes from
No.
that.
no.
Don't
I
do it. It's
I
not a
did
game to
have
play.
I did have on your recommendation. I meant to message you, but I got busy one day and I totally forgot to. I did finally find that Ghost
Grape?
grape.
Did you have
That
it?
was good.
The
I did. I
Welch's.
enjoyed.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this might be something I might pick up for extra life.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah,
I love
yes,
the grape.
yes.
There's a new one out now, raspberry cream. It's good too. But anyway, we're snack dads. No, we're not. We talk, Justin. We're going to start with you because you
Yeah,
said, you
yeah,
know, you 4 to 6 weeks off the show.
yep.
You've been playing some stuff.
I
We
have
have
been.
not heard from you, and so you know
Yeah,
where you kind of are playing stuff that we're playing. We'll kind of
yeah.
intersect with you. But what have you been playing?
Yeah, so I would say I am continuing my adventures on Hollow Knight Silksong. I am 40 hours into that game. And I have been grinding at a boss that is taking me far too long, but slowly getting there. Still enjoying it. I'll do, so that's great. Hades 2, been playing and loving. I think I've got about 20 hours into that. Continue to make progression. Man, the voice acting with that is just incredible. Some of the art's pretty incredible. Um,
Yep.
looking at you, the redhead. Having fun with that. Every run feels like I'm getting further along, which is fantastic. Playing a little bit of Star Wars Outlaws, not nearly as much. So that's I got to come back to it. I was getting frustrated by a mission that I couldn't figure out what to do, and I just stopped for that one. What else am I playing? I am playing Pokemon Z to A, ZA, and I've put probably 12 or 15 hours into it. That was interestingly enough. So for those who don't know, I was traveling in Ireland for about 10 days. That game released the day we were traveling out, and fortunate enough, we were able to get the code before we left. So I downloaded this. That was my playing game for a fair bit of it. Um, and so I'm enjoying it. Yeah, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't play enough Pokemon games to really understand the difference, but what I do like is this change from like the turn-based kind of process that we've seen traditionally in Pokemon to now being like an active battle system, very much more like oh my gosh, how would you refer to the game? It's almost like
Like Xenoblade.
thank you. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm like how would I describe that? I rather enjoy that. I do find it sometimes I'm trying to like target. I find moving my character away from getting hit and trying to get the Pokemon to like hit a certain thing at the same time. Sometimes I'm messing up on that, and then sometimes I just randomly throw it a Pokeball, which is a bit ridiculous. But really enjoying that. Like I think it runs really smoothly on the Switch too. Um, yeah, and I mean, we all know I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but just enjoying the grind to it. Sure, and there's little tasks to go do. The world's kind of, I feel like the world is. I think one of the things I would say about it is I find the districts like there's different spots, and it all just looks the same, right? There's no
Yeah.
like uh, one of the things I do appreciate is like the quick time, so that's great, or quick transport, which is great.
Oh yeah.
That makes it better, but like everything sort of just looks the same. Where I think in other Pokemon games I played, like, oh, this is this region, right? This definitely has a definitive different look, and I just don't find that really. I think a lot of the look and the style they've spent that time on your actual like looks and styles and wardrobe that you've been wearing. And I think that's sort of where they're spending more of that time. But I've overall been enjoying it. And so I'll actually play a bit on Extra Life, I'm sure. But I
Reed
know
Dillard
who else has
says,
been.
"Can we all agree that the Pokemon Center soundtrack in ZA is an absolute bop?"
Yeah, it's not bad, right? Like it's yeah.
The,
Um,
the one track that seems out of place to me is when you're fighting opponents during the ZA Royale.
mm,
That music sounds like it belongs in a Persona game
interesting. Yeah.
to me.
Um, yeah. Who else has been playing it? Jesse, you've been playing it.
Yeah, I
I've been
rolled
Ivan,
playing it too.
credits.
Yep.
What do you guys think of it?
Yeah, I rolled credits. I liked it. The mega battles, I think, were the worst part of it. Of course,
Yeah.
that's what I said about the last two Zelda games too.
Yeah.
Is the main story was the worst part, but
Mm,
there's enough of other things going on that kept my attention. I don't think I'm going to go back and fill in the gaps. Like my son's already 100%ed it. Yeah, he has the shiny
Nice.
charm.
Of course he does.
Yep. He found this way of shiny hunting that involves keeping the game running while you're AFK and he has this controller set up in some weird way. And so he, like, when he's off work, he'll check and there'll be like 10 shinies there waiting for it to catch it. I'm like, I don't understand what you're trying to explain, but that's cool.
That is cool.
I didn't see a single shiny other than the one that you get that's mandatory for one of the side quests.
Mm.
You'll have to get him to dock his Switch on your capture card and you like interview him on how he's doing this. And share that. But yeah, I've been playing it. I'm really enjoying the mechanics, the gameplay mechanics of the game as well. I like how you're playing it, and that's what I liked about Arceus as well. So it was just different mechanics, different from other Pokemon games, and that's what I like about it. It's more action oriented than turn-based. And I think that's why I'm sticking to it more than the story. And because the story is like, okay, yeah, typical Pokemon, you're some fabulous trainer coming out of nowhere doing awesome stuff. And they're recruiting you and out of nowhere. But yeah, it's of course I'm still only rank F because I haven't played at all this week. But hoping to jump back in this weekend, and maybe there's some more that happens in the story that'll intrigue me. But right now it's still more gameplay. I'm enjoying the gameplay and actually the fashion side of it too. Like putting on new fits and stuff and saving my money to go get more new outfits. So
nice. So that's been
else
Pokemon.
I wanted to add, but now I forgot it.
Okay. We'll come back to that if you remember, Jesse. The other game I've been playing, Marty, PowerWash Simulator 2. I picked it up because I know how much you've talked about it. I got to play PowerWash Simulator when I was at PAX West a couple of years ago, and I got to play the DeLorean pack that they did for it as well. But I just never pulled the trigger on it. But finally I was like, you know what? Let's do it here on the Switch too. That was another, I understand sort of the mindlessness of it, right? You've talked about that before, but like I got to a point on the flight, I just like put in like a show I listened to, and I was just like cleaning, and it's such just a mindless second screen experience that also at times becomes incredibly frustrating. Like, what do you mean I'm 2% away from trying to figure out where the small dirt underneath the toilet seat is? Are you kidding me right now? Oh, you're muted, Marty.
I was going to say, I figured out a hack in the last, I'm going to guess it's a hack, but it's something that's a huge difference from the first game to the second game that makes things a lot easier. And that is in the first Power Wash Simulator, you have a nozzle or attachment for your power washer that dispenses soap. And you have to buy a certain kind of soap for a certain kind of grime. So like if you're cleaning a car, the panels are made out of metal. You need something to clean metal. So you'd have to buy these, and they're in limited supply. Like as you unlock new levels, you earn the ability to buy more of these, but they run out really fast. Well, in Power Wash Simulator 2, you have the soap nozzle, but the soap is free. And the soap is not specific for a certain thing. So what I've noticed is that if you take your time to coat a surface in soap, and it will only stick to the dirt. So this helps you find what you've missed. That like if you spray it, it will stick to the dirt. And then once you rinse, like come back to do like a rinse on it, it goes away immediately. Like these tough baked on grime just goes away. But it also adds another layer of cleaning to the actual overall clean that you do. Because where before you might like, well, I'm just going to spray water at it until it goes away. Well, that's fine. You can do that. At times it's time consuming based on what like have to change the nozzle, change the power or the distance. this helps you be able to be a little bit more relaxed about it. It makes the levels take a little bit longer, but I think that's the point, is that this is not a game to charge through. It's a game
Yeah.
to, like you said, my favorite time playing it is like in the morning. I don't have anything to do. I've got a cup of coffee. I can prop my feet up on the couch, maybe put some music on in my headphones, play PowerWash Simulator.
Yeah.
I'm glad you tried it.
Yeah, like I knew I wanted to dive in, and then I think after I heard that the next one was going to be launched, I was like, I'll just jump in then, right?
I
So
really wish
yeah.
that they would do some kind of content upgrade. I would even pay for it to do like a little bit of an upgrade to the Switch version.
Yeah.
To not like completely redesign it or whatever, but just at least to improve the frame rate a little bit or to make it look a little bit better.
From like the
And
original one over to the Switch 2. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I meant. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So what's the last mission that you did on there?
I just started the campfire or the camp. Like
Oh, okay.
I'm not very far into it. I'm just doing like a little bit
I
every
just
once in a while.
did a shooting gallery,
Oh, okay.
which was interesting because not only do you have to do the interior or the exterior, you go into the interior and the things react to you as you spray them with the power washer.
Oh,
That's
that's
cool.
fun.
So
Nice.
like there's parts of them that
Nice.
open up that you have to like shoot the target deliberately
That's awesome.
yeah, but then there's some ducks or something chickens that you have to knock over or cats. It's cats
Yeah.
that you have to knock over. And that gets really old after a while. It's
Gotcha.
like, because you've got to knock them over, then spray the part that it reveals, then go
Yep.
do the back as well. And they're just,
Yeah.
it's constant noise.
Speaking of upgrades from Nintendo Switch to Nintendo Switch 2, one of the games that I was playing just before it came on the show actually was Overcooked 2, Nintendo Switch 2 edition that came out today. I will say that if you already have Overcooked 2, some companies are doing these like free upgrades, right? I think this probably should have been a free upgrade. I think they charge like $10 American, and it adds camera integration so you can have your face on like as you're running around the kitchen. And I think you get an extra new chef and 4K. And I don't think that was worth the cost of admissions for that, if I'm being honest. And so it's interesting in hindsight to that, Dave the Diver today did a free update to Nintendo Switch 2, and it was a free update. There's no new content, but it's a performance patch to make it ready for Nintendo Switch 2. And so it's interesting to sort of see some of these organizations, and you all know that I'm a huge Overcooked fan. As a matter of fact, someone in our community actually said they're casting for an Overcooked reality game show, and my wife and I should apply for it as well. I'm going to look into it, if I'm quite honest. And you know how much I love Overcooked and all those kind of games. This just felt like, this doesn't feel, it felt a little bit money grubby-ish. I shouldn't say money grubby-ish. I don't think it's worth the value that they're proposing. If there was new levels in there, and it was more than just the output and the cameras and a chef, then I think it would have been worth the value. But if you already have it, I don't think it's worth the value. That being said, it is currently on sale if you like party games. And so that's one to consider. The last game I've been playing, and I'll just mention it very quickly, I did jump into this season of Fortnite with The Simpsons, and I've played just a couple rounds in there. I'll probably be playing a fair bit of that during Extra Life. But sort of just to be honest with you, I downloaded it on the Switch 2. I had not downloaded it to my Switch 2 yet until now, just to actually see the performance and how it went. And it's actually not, definitely performs better than the Switch, but had some fun with it as well. Those are the games I've been playing.
Pick somebody.
I'm gonna pick Tim.
Like
I'll
I
be
said,
right back, by the way.
I haven't been able to play much this week since the last show, but I did play Dragon Snack that we did a first look on. That's out on our channel. It is a Switch game that I think is $5 on the eShop, and it's very quick, basic type of puzzle where you get kind of like this path you got laid out where you have to point your dragon in the right direction to get to the other end of that puzzle by fixing the roads, swapping road pieces to put them in the correct places, turning them, rotating them, figuring
like a
out
Happy Trails game, but
maybe
for That's
Yeah, it's just
that's an old reference for those who might remember that.
so yeah, and you get like forks in the road that you have to figure out how to put in the right orientation, and so it gets a little bit difficult. There was like towards the end of the first look, I was getting a little stumped on that last puzzle that I got, and then I was making it more complicated than it needed to be. So it's like
I saw
overthinking it.
I saw the title of this and I thought, are these food for dragons or are these food made out of dragon?
It is I don't even know what the snack is really, because you're really just going down a path, and you might pick up these gems that give you fire ability so that you can burn anything that's in your path out of the way. Maybe you're snacking on those gems and that's about it, but I haven't really seen anything else
Weird. False
food related.
advertising.
But I only went through the first several stages, so to kind of get the feel for that and do the first look. So it is one that I think is a good one to have when you want to do a quick puzzle or two type of thing. And there's about 30 puzzles in it. Hopefully, maybe if it does well, they'll do some DLC for it and add some more puzzles. But yeah, it's a nice, quick $5 game to have on there if you want to carry your Switch around and jump into something. The other game, of course, like everybody else who's been playing it, is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I started that today as I got the code from Nintendo. So shout out to Nintendo for giving us a code, both Marty and I. And I have to say that it is not disappointing me at all. Obviously, jumping in, I love time travel type stories, and being in the Zelda universe, just building off of what you already know from the Tears of the Kingdom game is great. And so far, too, I haven't played enough of it to know if this is too spoilery, but right now it's just building off of where you leave Zelda at the beginning of Tears of the Kingdom. So if you don't finish Tears of the Kingdom, you don't know what happens there at the end of Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't seen anything that gives away. There was something mentioned at the beginning of the game to where if you don't know what happens at the end of Tears of the Kingdom, if you don't know what's going on, it would just go over your head. But if you played the ending, then you'll be like, aha, okay. They kind of hint towards something there. So, but the story in itself is fantastic, and I love the action-oriented hack and slash type gameplay in this game. So, Marty, what do you think about it?
So I did the first like 45 minutes of it almost on first look today for our YouTube channel. I was a little frustrated by it in the beginning because it took so long to get to actual gameplay.
Lots of story.
We were 6 minutes into the video before I even got control of Zelda for the first time, and then the first mission is just kind of like a tutorial. I went through that, and I went through a little bit of basically I played until you get a level clear screen for the first time, and it does show off a lot of the nuances to combat and things. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I thought it has a very slow start, but I did go play some more of it afterwards, just handheld, and uh, it's kind of picking the pace up, right? Like it feels better. Um, and I was happy be happy to tell people it performs extremely well, both docked and handheld. Um, I know in the past there's been some kind of like back and forth on the Switch versions of Hyrule Warriors, and sometimes it can feel choppy or whatever. Tim, you can kind of speak to this too. Like it is so fluid, and I mean, it's like you're playing a cartoon, which is really cool. And it does add a little bit to I guess, to the story, some as well. Um, but I do like that you're able to, like where I am in the game, which I'm not very far in. I'm able to play as Zelda and Rauru and Minoru. And I thought that is really cool to be able to control characters you haven't been able to before. And they really do a great job of integrating parts from the story, like the Zonai weapons and special abilities that like actually you have to use. Like each character has two types of special ability when you first get them. And you do that by holding down the R button, and it brings up, it kind of like slows down time, like a flurry rush. But then you press either Z or, I'm sorry, Y or X to use one of those. And it's like sometimes you have to use this to not like the enemy will get a red aura on them and they'll attack you, and it's what's called a dangerous attack. And you can actually use your special abilities to break that, and then it leads to you having the pie thing that you're working to wear down so that then you can hit a weak point. Flurry Rush is back. There's also a brand new sync attacks, which
Yes.
thought was kind of funny. Is sees your character and then we give each other a high five,
Yeah.
and then they do an attack together. Like Zelda and Minoru, or Zelda and Raru's attack is both of them shoot light beams out in front of them that you can then control to hit multiple enemies, or you can focus it on one big enemy and there's a big explosion at the end. Um, actually killed the first boss that I encountered, which is with that.
Nice. Yeah.
And your A button special attacks are back and everything. Everything, just the voice acting is great. So I would say don't let the slow start fool you. I know there's going to be a ton of content to dig into in this game for people, but I guess the only other like negative I can see is I do feel like some people are starting to express some fatigue with the world of Breath of the Wild. I mean, this is the same Zelda setting for 8 years now, and we've gotten 4 games in this universe, which I guess is not bad. It's just I think maybe it's time to move on after this one. So yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I'm not. I like the type. This type of game is great for letting stress relief.
Yes. Yeah.
So
It felt pretty good to get the some of those moves off, and you just see a bunch of enemies just flying out everywhere.
oh yeah,
I love those. That's why I like those kind of
and
warrior games for that
there is a
reason.
ton of enemies that can be on the screen
Yeah.
at a time too. So I mean, like you could definitely see the a power progression between Switch and Switch 2 by playing this
Hmm.
game.
Yeah. I never played the second Hyrule Warriors, so I'm kind of on the fence with the third one here.
Gotcha.
I just,
Well,
I have such a deep backlog right now. I might
yeah,
get
I
to it.
would say you don't have to play the Age of what's the other one? Shoot, I couldn't remember it in my video. It's not this is Age of Imprisonment. The Age of
Somebody?
whatever.
Calamity.
Calamity. You don't have to play that one to play this one. There's
I
nothing
figured not.
like yeah, so there you go. Jesse, what you been playing?
So I mentioned, Pokemon Legends EA, I did roll credits, as I think I said that already, but I don't remember the time played, 30 to 35 hours, maybe 40. So it's not horribly long. I remember Arceus, I put in 100 hours, but I finished that game. I think I 100% of that game. I'm not going to 100% this one. As soon as I rolled credits, I decided to jump right into Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. I did about an hour and a half stream over the weekend to of the start of Dragon Quest 1, and it's Dragon Quest 1. I love it. It's just I've there hasn't been a version that I haven't liked of this game. But it still feels like a new game because it adds a lot of extra side questy stuff, extra cutscenes, extra mini bosses that didn't exist in the original game. Like I think the last time I played DQ1 was the Super Nintendo version with a fan translation, and I played through that in like 10 hours. And while I'm near the end game here, I'm like 15, 16 hours in. I think level 31. There are two significant bosses right now I can't beat. One of them, I think I have the right strategy. I need full heal is the problem. I only have mid heal, which fills a quarter of my health. So I'll cast mid heal and lose more than that on the next round. This boss, or actually, and the other one is well, they're both story. The first one leads, if you know the game, it leads to Erdrick's armor, not required to beat the game, but definitely a nice to have. The other one is one of the new story elements that is required to progress the storyline, and I'm stuck on that with a bunch of undead dragons using ice attacks, and I'm like,
There's
I have
undead dragons in there? That's crazy.
undead dragons, yes,
Okay. I did not know this game did that.
and yeah, having full heal will help, and I found a shop afterwards that sells a sword that does extra damage to dragons and shield.
Undead dragons?
There are weapons that do extra damage to undead,
Okay.
and weapons that do extra damage to dragons. I'm sure this dragon is weak to both, but this sword also has a higher base stat than the current sword I have, so it will benefit more.
Nice.
Once I can
Yes.
afford it. Then there's flame shield and flame armor, which will also protect against ice attacks. So I think once I get those, I have to grind out about 60,000 gold pieces to do them. And then I think that'll make that fight easier.
So here you are in this game. You have to grind out 68,000 pieces for a nice weapon, where I'm grinding out in Pokemon ZA for a nice jacket.
Yes. Yeah. And
Good context there, Tim. Good context.
there was someone asked me a question in the Discord about if in the original game, could you beat the game with Gwaylin in your party? And I said, yes, you can beat the game, but normally you would save the princess. Again, in the original game, an optional quest. That's the only optional side quest in the original game. You don't even have to save the princess. You can completely ignore her. Though there are benefits to doing so, one of which leads to Erdrick Mark, which is an item you need to beat the game. But if you know where it is from a guide or a previous playthrough, you don't need to save the princess. But you can save the princess and not deliver her to the castle, and just keep her with you the entire game. And
Isn't
in the
that
original,
another game?
huh?
Isn't there another game where you aren't supposed to save the princess? No,
Yes,
sorry, go ahead.
That's a different game. And in the original game, it only gives you like a 1 or 2 line of extra content, just more of a joke saying, "Oh, you did this. That's weird." But this game, she gets involved in cutscenes if she's with you. So once I saved her, I made 2 save slots, and I'm going to try to. They call it the Gwaylin run. So I'm going to try to beat the game with her in my party just to see what all these other cutscenes interactions are. And then when I beat that, then I can go back and return her to the castle like like you're supposed to do, and then play out what those cutscenes look like without her, so I can see the difference. Definitely, you're not meant to do this, but for those who want to attempt it, it does give you a little extra benefit for doing so. I'll say there is, in order to reach the princess, you need the magic key. In order to get one of the items required from the cat to beat the game, also requires a magic key from that castle. So you have to get that item before you get the princess, because if you do it the other way around, you're returning the princess to the castle whether you like it or not to get that other item that you need. So get that item from the sage first before you save the princess if you want to attempt this run.
All right.
Yeah, and then I'll probably take a small break, play something else before I start 2 when I finish 1, or I might just jump right into 2. I haven't decided yet, but so I do plan on playing quite a bit of this game during the holidays.
Good deal.
Nice.
So we talked about Hyrule Warriors, talked about PowerWash Simulator. I've just been playing some older games this week too. Uh, with Prime 4 coming out soon, I've picked Metroid Prime Remastered back up. I never finished that when it first came out. I have beaten the first one, but it was on the collection that came out a few years ago. And so I'm excited to kind of run back through this one and finish it. Again, I also been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, playing that online is fun. There's no like there's like right now you can't go in and like set up it's the online's not real complex, but it's like it's coming via patch later. Right now you can just kind of find a quick match online, you know, and so I realize how terrible I am at Mortal Kombat every time I do that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm loving digging through all those old games and watching the documentaries and things like that. And I've also been playing some more Plants vs Zombies Remastered. I'm on the 4th stage of that, and I've unlocked quite a bit, like with the mini game mode and different things like that. So uh, I'm having a lot of fun with that. So, and Fortnite, that's mainly what I've been playing in my downtime. This season's great. I didn't know how the Simpsons integration was going to be, but it's a lot of fun. And so I've gotten like 4 or 5 victory royales so far. And yeah, unlocked the umbrella already, and I'm working through the battle pass. So a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff. So, hey, let's round out the show with the community spotlight.
All right. Shout out to everybody who's been stopping by to watch us do this live. Thank you for always coming in. We got our usual suspects like Victars coming in, and Darth Platypus and Miz and some guy named Jason Mason, I think. I think that's who that
That
was.
guy's a jerk.
And then Reed Dillard has popped in. We haven't seen him in a while. So shout out to him. And Third Strongest Mole from Retro Logic is there. So go check them out as well.
I got rated earlier.
Yes.
The name was funny. I'm trying to find it. Duckwing Dork.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was cool to see them pop in. And Friendo, Quag 311. Like I said, a lot of our usual suspects, and then some new people too. So that was pretty cool. And I'm sorry if I missed you. Oh, Beer was stopped in too. So that was cool. Stopped in for a moment.
Yeah, he asked me a question about the arcade.
Yes. So shout out to everybody who stopped in. If I missed you, I apologize. I was just trying to scroll through real quick. But before we go into the community questions, just want to remind everybody about Extra Life. As we mentioned, not right after this, but this coming weekend, starting tomorrow, Marty's going to be jumping in and doing Extra Life for about 12 hours, starting at noon tomorrow, Central Time. And then Justin will pick up right where Marty leaves off into Saturday. And then Jesse, you're planning on looks like doing something November 22nd at 1 p.m. If things turn out right, you'll be doing that.
Yeah,
for a couple hours.
Mine will not be a 12-hour stream. Sorry, but I'm shooting at 4. If I can go longer, I will. But
yep,
I'll
Justin will be 24.
And then Justin's will be about 12 live stream. Then I'll do like another 12. We're having people come over for partying here, and so we'll have like some little video clips and stuff like that of like what we're playing, and maybe a little like 3-minute little live stream, but not like the on for 24-hour live stream. So
awesome. So, and then I will be rounding out the Nintendo Dads streaming Extra Life with Black Friday streaming starting at 3 a.m. Usually what people used to do, get up at, for Black Friday, getting up at 3 a.m., trying to go to the stores that are open really early or getting ready to. I'm going to get up at 3 a.m., do some streaming for 24 hours on Black Friday. So, also, don't forget about all of our other members who are going to be doing something. Look for their streams once if we know a time, if any of our members are listening or watching, who are part of our team. If you're going to do something, let us know what time you're going to do that, what date you're going to do it on. We'll promote your time as well. The Snack Network already had their Extra Life stream, so they raised a lot of money and actually joined our team, which helped boost our goal, which we thank them very much for doing that. I've shared a couple of their videos because I was able to donate some money and get a coffee drink made called I think we got a video of it. It's called Maple. It's got maple in it. So had to add that because we're always on a maple kick around the fall time here. So this iced coffee has a hint of maple and some cream and all that kind of stuff. So I want to go down to Ohio and try it sometime. So my family's trying to plan a road trip to go check that out. But anyways, go to nintendodads.org, and at the top of that page, you'll see our Extra Life logo or Extra Life logo there, not ours, theirs. Click on that, and you can see our Extra Life page where you can see all of the team members. You can either pick one of them and donate to them directly, or you can join our team from there too. And again, you don't have to play the video games. You can just promote that you're trying to raise money for your local children's hospital and raise money for that. That helps us reach our goal of $5,000.
Yeah, and a couple things I'd say that, like, this is even if you're not able to donate, just being in the chat, like people are in stuff like this is so meaningful. Hey, how's it going? Having a conversation. Yeah, keeping us awake, keeping just there is just an absolute gift as well. So if you have the ability, that would be great. So keeping us on during the weekend. This is such a great event. And Tim, keep me honest, I don't remember the full total that we have. We have been fortunate enough to do this Extra Life for several years.
Yes.
And I want to think the collective total that we have been able to raise as the Nintendo Dads community is just shy of, I think, $20,000, if memory serves, for Children's Miracle Network hospitals across North America. This is because of you. This is because of your ability to support. This is your ability to donate, your ability to share, all helping children, which is critical for us, which is a huge part of our community, obviously, as dads being here. And so thank you for the support. I think it's around 20,000 we've done since over the 11 years we've been doing this. So thank you for whatever you're able to support and connect with and donate. So thank you for all that as well.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have the numbers. We have a spreadsheet somewhere where I can probably add the last couple of years too.
It's pretty close to 20 as memory serves.
Yeah. So I know we had the 1 year in 2022 where we all met up and we were able to get 11,000 right there. And then there was a couple of years we did get close to 5,000, if not over.
Yeah.
So we might actually be over 20,000, but I'd have to go look.
So yeah, if you count the not just team giving, but if you count like individual, because I think there were a couple of years that I was not on the team, but I don't know why.
Yeah,
we just didn't know how to set it up right or something. I think we're over 20.
Yeah, probably. I don't want to be like, we're 40,000 and it's like 30.
Oh, no. But I mean, there were a couple of years there that it was like 2,500 on my end. And I mean, it's just, we all contribute and we're all good and we're giving away stuff. I mean, like we're giving away Genesis controllers, I think. Lego
Genesis Lego controllers that you could only get via ordering through Lego. This was not something you could purchase through there as well. So we're going to give away one of these. I have got 2 cases of Genki sleeper cases that I'm going to give away. I love these things. These are great products. We know how much I love Genki products. So these are going to 2 people. So we've got giveaways, all kinds of stuff as well. So
Oh yeah,
thank you.
we've got a whole pile of stuff here sitting behind me from
Yeah,
JSO, our
JSAC,
good friends.
and I think Tim's got some stuff from JSO too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's going to be a good time.
In fact, you guys just mentioned this. I gotta say this. JSO gave us a lot of stuff. One of the things that I'm using right now that I was able to do a unboxing, or not unboxing, but kind of like a first look at some of their products. We had that video out, I think, that posted this past week. One of the things that I'm able to use, and I've been using it a lot this week, or at least for trying to switch to do recordings. When I did the Dragon Snack game, I put that on my Switch, my OG Switch, my OLED, I should say. And the little dock they sent us, I was able to unplug my Switch 2 that I was using to stream from and plug my Switch 1 into it without any problems.
Oh wow!
So Justin, I know you've been looking at trying to find something like that, but this
Well,
little thing.
I've already funded the the Genki
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
But thank
There
you.
you go.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
right. Yeah, but yeah, it's a very awesome device that if you have, maybe your kids have a Switch 1 and you have a Switch 2 or whatever combination of those things you have where you got both those devices in the house, this one little dongle allows me to have one HDMI cord, one plug, and it's a Nintendo official plug. And I have my camera connected to it to where I'm able to plug in my Switch 2, unplug that, plug in my Switch 1 at any time, and have it
That's awesome.
go to the monitor. So
That is awesome.
shout out to them. I know there's other companies that are coming out with stuff that do similar things, so we'll be checking those out when we can. But just wanted to give a shout out to them for doing a product like that. Again, we'll have a bunch of those type of prizes that will be given away during each of our times. And then any prizes we have left, we'll give away we'll spin the wheel on everybody's donations that we received and give away the rest at some point. So I myself will have a couple of Lego sets to give away. We have more Switch accessories, a couple things of Nintendo Dad's merch I think we still have. So
I've got a few things laying around I'll be able to offer up
Yeah.
as well.
Yep. A lot of things that we get donated and or given to do a review on, and we can't use it all, so we'd rather you
Nope.
guys get to have it. And what better way to utilize that stuff than to be able to raise money for kids at Children's Hospital, and you guys can win prizes.
So I mean,
So-
like every donation you're entered to win. And with the amount of prizes that we're giving away, you have great odds.
Yes. So with that, I know we had a long run today, so I think probably the questions we'll save for next week, since it's probably not as news heavy next week, we think. So we'll save the questions for next
We'll
week
find
to
out.
go over. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great. Well, Tim, thanks for that. We're going to close out the show with a huge thanks to our Patreon producers. That's Dave Ernsberger, Jacqueline Amira, and an anonymous Patreon producer, as well as 100 plus other friends of the show over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. We want to thank everybody for hanging with us for episode 552, especially those that drop in and watch live. And you can do that again next week. If you're hearing this, just the audio version, you can catch us on YouTube, on X, on Twitch, and Facebook live on Thursday nights, beginning about 8:30 Central, for just sweet hangs and podcast recording. We also want to say a huge thanks to our Twitch subscribers, our Twitch followers, and say a shout out to over 8,200 YouTube subscribers. We want to thank everybody for promoting the show and being fans, commenting, liking our posts, all kinds of stuff. We would not be here if it weren't for you guys. And so we appreciate you very much. You can head over to nintendodads.org for a list of our family of podcasts and other recommended podcasts, YouTube videos, tweets, social media, Patreon, Extra Life pages, and merch. And you can head over to manscaped.com and get 20% off your order by using the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. So treat yourself to something sweet this holiday season over at manscaped.com by using the code NINDADS. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music we use throughout the show. And reminder, wherever you download us in your podcast app of choice or podcatcher, whatever service you use, surely they have some kind of review system, stars, comments, whatever. We would love all of it. The bigger, the better. The 5 stars, lots of comments. It's great. It just makes people able to find us and pushes us up the charts, and it just makes you a better person. It does. You may not believe that, but it works. So for me, for Justin, for Jesse, and Tim, this has been episode 552, 11 years of Nintendo Dads today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
We sound like the goddamn